Well, this is a bit of a different video. I have done rankings before, but this will be my ranking of all the movies that I've seen starring Dylan O Briens. There are, I think, 2 movies of his that I have not seen and probably will never see because it has some stuff in it I don't really like. But then there are also 2 like mini shorts with him that I'm gonna include. So it balances out to 21, 19 movies and then 2 shorts. And one, I'm doing this because he has a lot of movies, so it will be like a good long video. And then I just really like Dylan O'Brien as an actor, and I want to see if like this would be a good video to make if I enjoyed it and everything, which I think I will. But so let's just get into it. Last year mostly, I had just around like the beginning of last year, I think, or maybe like the end of 2024, I had found a movie by Dylan O'Brien. I think, well, the first movie I watched with him was Deepwater Horizon, but the first movie I watched starring him that I kind of like comprehended him being in it was Maze Runner, which I think was like early last year. And then since then, I just watched like all of his movies because he's a good actor. So let's just get into it. At 21, at the bottom of this list is Maximum Truth. I think this movie was supposed to be like a comedy, but it wasn't really funny at all. The main guy, played by Ike Barinholtz, was not really good at all. He annoyed me, and I didn't really care for anyone else in the cast besides Dylan O'Brien. In all of his movies, even if they're not that great of movies, Dylan O'Brien's really good. And this one it was like an hour and a half, but it felt so long to get through, and like I just did not like that movie at all, and I will never watch it again. But I guess it was a good experience like once just to like see, but I don't know. Next is High Road. This was like a low budget comedy starring Dylan O'Brien, and like Ed Helms was in it, Rob Riggle. And it's like a road trip type movie and everything. Again, it was fine. This is one though that I do kind of want to give another shot just to see if I can like it a little bit more. But I have no idea if I would like it more, and I'm not like in a rush to watch it again. I'll just watch it again like if I have nothing else to do, and and like it pops into my brain and stuff. So who knows? But like Dylan Brien was really good. I think Ed Helms always gives a few laughs. Same with Rob Riggle. But I mean everyone else was just like fine. But not like good or anything. Number 19 is Not Okay. This movie has a great premise where this girl kind of fakes going on a vacation to like Paris or like just like another country, and while she's at her vacation, aka her apartment, just like photoshopping stuff, there's a terrorist attack where she was vacationing. So when she gets back, as like one of the only survivors of the terrorist attack, like everyone is like just like, oh, you're so cool, like how do you do that, blah blah blah. And it has a really interesting premise, and it could have been worse. But it definitely fell short of what the premise was. I think that obviously Dylan was great. Zoe Douche was really good. I've seen her in a couple things, and I like her as an actor. I think it just seems that like a lot of the movies that she's in just aren't the greatest, even though she is in Zombieland Double Tap, so I will give her that because that movie's great. But other than that, I mean, it definitely could have been way better. Number 18 is, let me make sure I get the title right, Charlie Brown Blockhead's Revenge. This was a 3-minute short film on YouTube that is the cast of Teen Wolf, which is a show I haven't seen, but it stars Dylan O'Brien. And It's basically like a trailer for a movie of Charlie Brown and the characters there, but horror. And it was so stupid, but so funny for some reason. Like, it was hilarious, but so stupid. Like, I love the Charlie Brown, like, characters and everything. I will always enjoy, like, a Charlie Brown, like, movie or, like, short or episode or whatever. I haven't watched as much as I would like to, but I want to try and get more and more, Charlie Brown as I go along. This was, really, really weird. And, I mean, it's not going to be like the best thing ever. It's just dumb fun, and I mean, that's what I got. I mean, it was 3 minutes, so I didn't waste my time, and it was just bizarre. Number 17 is Flashback. This is a movie that was kind of hard to comprehend, but I mean, basically, it's this guy starts like getting flashbacks or like dreams or stuff about a girl that he used to go to school with, and he's like, why is she like here now? And throughout the movie, you kind of figure out that his third eye, essentially, or whatever, is opening, and that he's seeing into like different timelines and everything. It was a really interesting concept, and I think the movie is like good enough. Like, the movie isn't bad. It could have been better, but it's not bad. But like it was fine. It was watchable. I'm not really looking forward to watching again, but if I ever do watch again, I wouldn't have a bad time. But it was just really hard to grasp. And for me, like, if a movie isn't like necessarily like the most it doesn't have to be like the most straightforward thing, but if it's like hard to grasp, like, just like, it's not gonna be one of my favorites. But it was interesting and good. 16 is one of the newer ones I watched, Anniversary, which was a movie from last year that I did not get to until a couple of days ago, just because I didn't really know if I wanted to watch it, all the political and stuff. But people who have watched it said that it didn't really like dive into like one side or the other. It was more so just like this thing. So I decided I'll check it out, and if anything just pops up that I'm not really into, I'll just turn it off. And for the most part, I think that it was a pretty interesting movie, where Dylan O Briens' character gets a girlfriend one day. Like, he introduces his girlfriend to his parents on their anniversary one year, and then it just keeps kind of showing like a bunch of different years and how everyone keeps changing. Like, Dylan O Briens becomes more of like he starts off kind of like this dorky kid, and then he kind of grows into like this like kind of a-hole dude, and it kind of shows the United States going from like what it is to being like changed by the change, which is like all one party, strict, like basically just like how do I explain it? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on words here right now. But basically from two parties to like one party, and if you don't follow that one party, you get shot or warned or arrested or whatever. And it was very interesting. I think that most people did a good job in this. I wasn't a big fan of Dylan Bryan's girlfriend, Diane Lane. I'm not so sure on. Kyle Chandler was pretty good, and every time I see him, I get more and more excited for his Green Lantern, because I'm like, okay, you're selling me more and more on it. Stick the landing, please. McKenna Grace was pretty good. Zoe Douche was in here, and I think she was pretty good. I say Dylan O Brien's great, but I don't know if I'll ever watch this again. But I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, which is good to say the least. Number 15 is the last like short film on here, All Too Well. This is a 14-minute thing on YouTube that is basically a short story / music video for a Taylor Swift song. And Taylor Swift shows up in here for like all of 5 seconds at the end as Sadie sings like Gold herself. The song itself isn't good. and I think I can say that for about all of Taylor Swift's songs. And then, like, once it gets into the later stuff with her and stuff, it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't care about that. But the stuff with Dylan and Sadie was really good. The scenes where they are just acting because the song's playing are really good. The scenes where they're having dialogue together were really good. And this movie, this short film, had me thinking that if these two played in like a romance comedy or whatever, it would be a really good movie. So that's kind of what I got out of it, is that I hope these two like team up again and make like a romance comedy or something. But for what it wasn't as abysmal as I was thinking. And when Taylor Swift's part of it, that's a compliment because she sucks. But yeah. 14 is Saturday Night. This is the, I think, 2024 movie that's telling the like first 90 minutes leading up to the first NSL skit, or like air, whatever you want to call it. You get like Dylan O Briens in here as Dan Aykroyd. You get like someone playing Chevy Chase, and then like all of these different people are in it. And it's not one shot, but it's like kind of like following the same people, and it's just like all like everywhere. And like I thought it was a pretty good movie. And I have never watched an NSL skit like at all. Like I've seen clips on like Instagram and stuff of some of them, but I haven't really watched like a full NSL episode or whatever you call it. And I don't know if I ever will. I kind of want to watch some of them, like with some of my favorite actors, but other than that, I probably wouldn't watch like a lot of them. But I mean, I think this movie did a pretty good job of that. Dylan O Briens is great, and just seeing like Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, even if it's not them, but it's like people playing them, is good because I think both of them are really good actors. So just seeing them kind of like, and like it was cool, and it worked more than it didn't. But it's not one of my like favorite movies, but it was really good. Number 13 is The Outfit. And this was one movie that when, like, leading up to watching it, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this or not. I don't know if the premise is good enough. And then everything. And then I watched it. And it was actually, like, really, really good and fun. Basically, you got this guy who just makes outfits. And he's kind of making them for, like, the mob. It's all set in this building, so it's not like, it doesn't really take place anywhere else. It's just the building. And as the movie goes on, Zoe Douche is in it as well. Dylan O Briens ends up getting murdered by this other mob guy who just got kind of fed up with this boss's son and accidentally shot him. So then the rest of the movie is kind of him trying to hide it from the guy, Dylan O Briens' dad. And then he's kind of blackmailing this outfit guy into doing it as well. As a movie itself, it's really good. As a Dylan O Briens movie where he gets shot about halfway or so through, kind of sucks. That's the one thing that I would say I kind of don't like about it, is that, like, the best character in it died. But other than that, it was a good movie, and I mean, I would watch it again. It's not one that I'm gonna, like, watch again, but like if I did end up watching it and like someone put it on or just found it or something, I would watch it because it's really good. But starting now, besides maybe one, these are all movies I would watch again. Even the one I would watch again, but like even though it's higher than some of them, it's one that I'll get to it. Number 12 is The Internship. This is a Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson comedy starring Dylan O Briens, where they get these two old guys get a like internship to Google, and like Dylan O Briens in it as like one of their like friends that they make, and like they are kind of being brought into like Google as these old guys. So it's very funny. The movie is really funny and good. I think Dylan O Briens is great. Vince Vaughn is great. Owen Wilson is great. Everyone else is really good, I think. Josh Gad, maybe... I mean, Josh Gad's fine in this. He's not annoying like he usually is. But it's just another fun, like, comedy that doesn't really take itself too seriously, which is what we want. And it's a comedy that has some jokes that will offend people, and I would much rather a comedy that offends people than one that doesn't. I want comedies like this back, where it's like, it's not like necessarily like trying to just offend, but if there's a joke in there that's funny and it accidentally offends you, I mean, it offends you. Like, I kind of want comedies like that back, but who knows if we'll ever get that back. But this movie is just really fun, and it's like a lot of other comedies where, like, you could just put it on and have a good time. It's probably one of the lower comedies, at least that I can think of, just because, like, there are other ones, like Adam Sandler ones, even some other Vince Vaughn ones that I would probably watch first. But it was a good one. Number 11 is The First Time. This is a movie where Dylan O Briens, at like a high school party, meets this girl who is from another school, and they kind of form like a relationship over like the summer. I really liked it. I like these types of movies, I guess. It's one of those that's like a smaller budget, so it's like it looks cheaply made, and I really like that about it. I'm not trying to like sound mean when I say it's cheaply made. I genuinely like that. And like when like a movie is just like it's not like it looks bad at all. It's just you can tell that they don't have as much money as like these other movies. But I always like that, and how it just like looks like what it does. Like, it just looks like a small little movie that is fun, and I don't know how else to explain it, but I mean, this movie was really good. I think that everyone was good in it. I think, let me check out the cast real quick. I think there was someone who shows up in here that I was just like, whoa. Oh yeah, Molly C. Quinn. She's from a TV show like Castle, starring Nathan Fillion. If you guys haven't watched that show, I would recommend it. But anyway, First Time, it has some comedy, it has some emotional moments, not like any emotional moments that will get you crying or anything, but I mean, it does its job, and it's just a small movie, and I really like that. And I mean, it's pretty high up. Number 10 is Deepwater Horizon. This is a movie based on a true story where about this oil rig that ended up blowing up, and it's really good. Mark Wahlberg is great. Dylan O Briens is great. I think Kurt Russell is fine. I'm not a big fan of Kurt Russell. John Malkovich is really good. And then everyone else is just good as well. I think that the way it builds up to everything and just showing all these like little things kind of like going wrong is really good. And then everything after the blow up and how they get out there and everything, and then like the wrap up, everyone meeting their families again and everything was really good. And fun fact, if you go to like the beginning of my channel, this was the first movie I reviewed on the shorts. So like those 3-minute videos I do of reviewing movies and everything. This was the first one. No, sorry. Oh, I completely messed that up. This was one of the first ones I did. This was one of the first ones. My first one was Princess Bride. And then I think there were a couple others. I completely messed up. But this was one of the first ones I did, which is fun. Sorry about that. But Deepwater Horizon is just it's a really, really fun movie that just is good and shows human spirit. And Mark Wahlberg and Dylan Brien are great. In number 9 is our newest comer to the list, Send Help, the new Sam Raimi movie starring Dylan Brien and Rachel McAdams, where these two coworkers get stuck on an island. If you watch my review, I was somewhat, a little bit, not fully though, like disappointed by it, where I was expecting it to be a bit better, and what I got was a pretty good movie, but a little bit disappointing. The ending wasn't my favorite. This is the one I was talking about where it's over movies like Deepwater Horizon. It's over a movie like First Time. It's over The Internship. Even it's over The Outfit. But all those I would say I would watch first before this. So who knows if I watch them again and it goes above Send Help or whatever. But that doesn't mean this movie is bad. It is completely watchable. And for the most of the runtime, it's really good. And then the ending, I'm just like, I don't really like that ending. But that's just me. And real quick, the only reason I'm doing this video is because I've only seen like 5 Sam Raimi movies. And that would not be enough for a list. Especially, like, unless it's like a director and he's only got 5 movies. But Sam Raimi has a lot more. So, instead we're doing Dylan O Briens. But send help, my, like, big thoughts are on my review. But Send Help was just a good movie that I might watch again. I might not. I don't know. But if I don't, I'm not really missing, like, a lot for me. But it was still good and it's still fun to witness. Number 8 is Infinite. This is a movie starring Mark Wahlberg and I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Mordo from Doctor Strange. And it's about these people who, anytime they die, get put in another body. So they just kind of like get reborn. And around 13 or 14, I think, they start getting their memories back of all their past lives. It's a really cool concept, and it could have been done better. But I think for the movie it is. It's still a really fun movie. Like, the action is fun. I love Mark Wahlberg as an actor. Dylan O Briens, he is not a big part of it, but the parts we get of him are cool, even though it's not that much. The story itself is pretty fun about this one Infinite who doesn't want to live anymore, so he's kind of trying to find a way to destroy Earth with this egg thing that Mark Wahlberg hid. You get like a plot twist, which I thought was pretty well done, even though the plot twist I saw coming, but still I think it was done well enough. And I mean, yeah, it is just fun. The action is fun. I don't really hate Mark Wahlberg movies as a lot of people do, but what are you gonna do? I guess, right? Number 7 is Caddo Lake. And this is one that I don't know why I watched it, but I did. And I had no idea what I was in for. And even throughout the movie, I was kind of like, huh? But then you get to the end of the movie, and everything just clicks into place, and you're just like, wow. Caddo Lake was an amazing movie. I would like to watch it again, but it's not like a movie that like is rewatchable as much, or at least not for now. If I watch it again, it could very well become rewatchable. I don't know. But I think that maybe watching it with all of like the answers might make it a little bit better. Even though it wasn't a bad movie. Like, it's great. I love the movie. I think that people should watch it. I don't really want to spoil anything, but it was done really well. All the like plot twists, and then at the end, once you figure everything out, were done really well. And it takes place in like 2 separate timelines. I like the Dylan O Briens one. The other one is really good too. Like, I'm not saying that one sucks either. But yeah, like, it was a great movie that I want to watch again. This is one that I do want to watch again. Number 6 is The Maze Runner, the first in the Maze Runner trilogy. And just such a good movie. I like Thomas. The story is great. This is one of 3 of the like post-apocalyptic like kid movies. This, Hunger Games, Divergent. This is my favorite of the series. The other 2, I don't really know. The other 2 are like this, but Maze Runner is clearly first for me. And this first one was just like, I'll say the worst one, but it was just really good, and I liked it. The scene where Thomas like actually goes into the maze, is such a great scene, and I don't know why, but I just love that scene. That scene sticks out to me. Everyone does good. The way they end up getting out of the maze and everything is really good. It's setting up the next couple movies and everything. It's just, this movie is awesome and fun, and it's definitely recommended. But yeah, Maze Runner is great. But number 5 is Maze Runner: The Death Cure. So the third one, the last in the trilogy, 4.5 out of 5 movie, so it's great. It's such a satisfying conclusion to the trilogy. It has a lot of good action, a lot of good answers. As I said, a lot of good wrap up, a lot of emotional moments like Newt you get Will Poulter coming back, and I would say, let's see, it's the best wrap up movie out of like Hunger Games and Divergent. It's really good. We'll be talking about these movies again towards the end of the year when the new Hunger Game movie comes out. We might talk about these movies again. I might do a just Hunger Games ranking, and I might do a all three rank, but I might not do that. I don't know, but depending on. But Maze Runner Death Cure was a really, really good movie that just wraps up all these characters and plot lines in a really, really satisfying way. And yeah, I loved it. But it's not my favorite Maze Runner, as you can tell. But number 4 is the movie on this list that has the least amount of Dylan O Briens. So I don't know if I kind of feel like it's cheating to put it on here, but at the same time, he is in it. And that movie would be Bumblebee. I finally get to talk about a Transformers movie in a ranking. Yay! Bumblebee is one of those movies that just is awesome. The Transformers franchise, I love all but like 2 of those movies. The original animated one from like the 1980s was, or is it 1990s? One of those 2 is fine. And then Transformers Rise of the Beast, which is the sequel to this, sucks. I don't want to talk about that movie. But Bumblebee is one of my favorites. And I love all the Michael Bay ones. Like, I love every single one, even though people don't like the last couple. But this is one of my favorite Bumblebee movies just because, like, Bumblebee, I've always loved it as a Transformer. I used to think he was better than Optimus Prime. I've since gone back on that. Optimus Prime is still a little bit better, but Bumblebee is right there with him. And Haley Steinfeld plays Charlie Watson really good. And just like the story, this is like E.T. but with a big transforming car instead of a little alien like Yoda. But I think everyone in this movie is really good. The action that you get is fun. It's nowhere near Michael Bay level, but it's what it needs to be. I think the person who wrote this is the person who's writing the new Batman movie, which, I mean, yeah, let's go. John Cena's in this, and he's pretty funny. The villains are fine. Optimus Prime is cool when you get him. And, like, this movie is just so much fun and good, and it has a great arc for Charlie. It has a great arc for freaking Bumblebee. It's really good. Now, the Dylan O Briens of it all, he has a couple lines at the beginning. He plays Bumblebee, and then obviously, as Bumblebee does in most universes, his voice box gets destroyed so he can't talk. So, there's not that much Dylan O Briens in the movie, but even though it does have that as a negative, it's still a great movie that is one of the best Transformers movies. Top 3, everyone. Number 3 is Love and Monsters. This was a post-apocalyptic movie released in 2020, so during COVID, starring Dylan O Briens and Jessica Henwick, and it's about this guy who, in all senses of the word, is a scary cat, basically. Like, he just freezes anytime he sees these monsters and anything. He goes out of his colony and is going after his girlfriend, played by Jessica Henwick, to meet up with her again, true love, all that, and he learns how to not be a baby. He destroys some of these monsters. He kind of learns that people can still live on the surface, and it's just a really, really well done one. Michael Rooker also shows up in this, along with, let's see if she's on here. She's not on here, and I don't remember her. Oh, Ariana Greenblatt, who plays young Gamora in Avengers Infinity War, and she's in Now You See Me, Now You Don't from last year, and their characters are really good. The story is just fantastic, and like all the action and everything is fun. The story is fun. The ending is pretty satisfying, I would say. His girlfriend ends up kind of being mean, though, like a little bit. But she gets better. And she's played by the girl from Iron Fist, which I'm not even finished yet. I'm watching that. I'm almost finished with it. I like that show. A lot of people don't. I just wanted to mention that show because I think that more people should watch it because that show's awesome. This movie is also awesome. This movie is great. Dylan O Briens is obviously fun, and in this type of movie where it's mostly just him, and then there's other people that come in here and there, you need to have like a pretty good lead, and Dylan O Briens is one of the best. So, Love and Monsters is a really fun movie that I have enjoyed watching every time I have watched it, which I think is about 3 or 4 times. In my second spot is Maze Runner: The Scorched Trials. My favorite Maze Runner movie. The second movie of Dylan Briens that is 5 stars. Love and Monsters, I would give that. And obviously he's got one more 5-star movie. And it just takes everything that they did in the first one and just makes it better. Obviously, you've got a lot more area for them to go around since they're not conducted in this little maze anymore. You've got, like, this version of zombies getting, like, fully introduced, which I think that they're pretty cool. The lore that you get is really good. All the characters are fun. There are some twists, there are some turns, there are some backstabbings. And then, what's his name? Giancarlo Esposito shows up in this, and he's really good. And yeah, this movie is just really, really good. And, the best of the Maze Runner movies, my second favorite Dylan O Briens movie. It's just one of my favorite, post-apocalyptic movies, I would say. It's just so good, and I love this, and if we got a 4th one, I wouldn't be too mad at it. I mean, I don't know how they would do it, especially since it's been a long time. But I know there's, like, 5 books. So unless they, like, put all of them into, like, 3 movies, they could make 1 or 2 more movies. Who knows? But this is definitely the best Maze Runner movie as of now. And my second favorite Dylan O Briens movie. But my favorite Dylan O Briens movie, as well as one of, if not my favorite, I did say this when I reviewed it, one of, if not my favorite, just pure action movies, American Assassin. Now, this is based on a book series made by Vince Flynn, who, rest in peace, and it follows this guy, Mitch Rapp, who watches his fiancée die in front of him, and then he kind of goes on a revenge for them, learns all this stuff, and then kind of ends up just becoming an assassin. It's based on a book series. This movie isn't really anywhere near the first book. It kind of takes, like, the first couple elements from it and then makes its own story. The book series is, I think, my 3rd favorite book series of all time. No. Yeah. I would say 3rd or 4th. I would say 3rd or 4th favorite book series of all time. And I love the character. I think Dylan O Briens was cast perfectly as Mitch Rapp. And I think that even though it doesn't stay, like, true to the book, it's still a phenomenal movie in and of itself. I think that Michael Keaton as Hurley was really good. I would say the only miscast was Irene Kennedy. I just didn't really like the actress. Like, she didn't really seem like she was that great of an actor in here, but obviously she doesn't ruin the movie at all, because this is still a 5 out of 5 movie. Taylor Kitsch shows up in this as the bad guy, and obviously I know him from, like, Battlefield, and he's in Terminal List, which is my second favorite show of all time. The action is just so much fun. The story is so much fun. The characters are so much fun. Just this movie is everything that I would like in a action movie, and it will probably be my favorite Dylan O Briens movie until they come out with a sequel, which probably won't happen, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, if anyone's watching this that can make anything happen, if you can't make a sequel to American Assassin, can we at least reboot it with, like, an Amazon Prime TV show or something, so that we can get different seasons based on the books, like Reacher or something, because even if Dylan Brien can't come back, this universe and this character are still great, that we should be getting stuff of this character, please. So, I'll leave it at that. But I love this movie, and it is my favorite Dylan O'Brien movie. But that's it, my ranking of all 19 Dylan O'Brien movies, plus 2 shorts. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it, talking about one of my favorite actors, and a lot of good movies, some bad movies, couple of fine shorts. But I hope this one is liked, because I would like to make some more like this. I don't know who the next actor I would do this for, though. Maybe like Chris Pratt, if he makes another movie this year. And hopefully by then I'll have watched a lot more of his movies, because I've watched a good chunk. He's my favorite actor, but there are a good chunk of his on my watch list. So I should start getting those done. And then obviously there will be director rankings. I just need to find some directors that have a lot of good movies that I'd like to watch. Just real quick as a closing thought, Jon Favreau is coming out with Mandalorian and Grogu in May, and he's one that I haven't watched all his movies yet, but by that time I will at least hopefully have done. And he's a director I'll be making one on. I hope J.J. Abrams releases a movie this year, because he's one I would like to talk about. But for now, thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed making it, and I'm hoping that I can make more like this. Just more rankings and everything. But until then, I will see you hopefully tomorrow for my review of the new Jason Statham movie, and if not, I'll see you whenever. But until then, peace.